Hey guys, welcome to another movie review from me. It's from for Bad Boys Ride or Die. This is the film I'm reviewing for you today. For those who didn't see it, I also recently reviewed Bad Boys for Life. It should be the video before this one on my YouTube channel here. So if you haven't seen the third film, I do actually highly recommend seeing that before seeing this film, just because it does connect with each other in very similar ways. It does have a similar continuity. So if you have not seen the third Bad Boys film, be sure to see that before you see this film. I think it's very important. But in this movie, guys, Bad Boys Ride or Die, like I said, this is the fourth film in the franchise for the Bad Boys franchise. And this time we find Mike and Marcus in a situation where their former boss has some videos being leaked on the internet. There's some information that comes forward that he might have basically worked with some drug cartels to keep some things quiet for years while he was, in the police business. And basically, Mike and Marcus have to basically go out and confirm that all these things were real, if they really were indeed true, because they worked for him for so many years. This character's been in all four films in this franchise. Obviously, these two characters have known him for years and would know if he really would do something like this or not. So while they're trying to clear his name, Mike and Marcus also get framed for doing stuff that they also did not do, and so they have to go on the run themselves, and they also have to clear their name as well. They also track down a character from the third film that is kind of trying to clean up his life and stuff like that, and so he's trying to help both Mike and Marcus get out of the situation as well, and also some former employees of Ammo who basically work closely with the bad boys in the third film. They also help out Mike and Marcus get out of this really tough situation as well. So over the course of this film, they have to clear their own names while also clearing their former boss's name and see if he really was as corrupt as he was, and see if he really did participate with drug cartels the way that the media is trying to depict him like. But overall, guys, I really enjoyed this new Bad Boys film quite a bit, actually. I would actually go so far as to say I think this might be my favorite installment in the franchise. I really liked Bad Boys for Life. It's a terrific film. There's things about it that I absolutely love. It definitely put the Bad Boys franchise on the right track. Clearly, Michael Bay not directing these films anymore was the right way to go with this franchise. That it really needed a fresh take, new directors to come in to really kind of breathe new life into the franchise. And this installment and the previous installment have further proven that that was clearly the right choice to go in. I really, really like this film a lot. So let's go over some positives and negatives, the things I really enjoyed about this film, and some things I think they could have been improved upon as well for this new installment. First and foremost, though, you guys, for my positives, this is a really fun film to watch. It's funny, it's action packed, it's dramatic. Similar to the third Bad Boys films, there's dramatic moments for both Mike and Marcus. Things with their family get pushed forward. I would say Mike Lowry in particular, there's a lot of stuff with him in his personal life that gets explored more. There's something that happens, I won't even talk about it here in case you haven't seen it yet. There's something that happens in his own life that definitely puts him into the next stage in life, if for those who've seen the film know what I'm talking about, and all the risks and all the happiness that comes with making that choice to make that extra stage in life happen. There's just a lot of stuff that happens in this film that's just super fun to watch. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are absolutely great together on screen once again. Just a very fun movie to watch, 100%. I also think the whole fugitive approach to the franchise was very fresh this time around. It works great for this franchise in particular. Um, it also puts Mike and Marcus in a situation that we really haven't seen them in before. Usually because they're working for law enforcement, we really don't get to see them on the run from law enforcement. So I thought that was a very unique aspect to the film. It also adds a humorous angle to it. It really does show that they really don't know how to be fugitives, and so there's things like that humor-wise that really works in the film's favor. So I thought the whole fugitive approach to the story really worked for the Bad Boys franchise really well overall. There's also a lot of themes in this film that I think really kind of stuck with me, and it really, 1 or 2 days later after seeing it and now reviewing it, that really kind of stuck with me. And so I think that's what really makes this film stand out for me personally, is its themes on forgiveness, is its themes on second chances, and it also has a theme about personal darkness. How there's things about our lives sometimes where if we feel like it ever got out, if the truth really was ever explored, if everybody knew exactly who you were, and every bad decision you ever made ever got out, your life would be over. And so I like how this film explores themes on forgiveness and second chances, and how we sometimes carry around this personal darkness, and it makes us who we are, but also kind of um, makes us more vulnerable, makes us more weak, makes us more um, doesn't make us as truthful as we should be. And so there's themes in this movie that are explored around those things that I think are very strong here. So like I said, it's themes on forgiveness, second chances, and personal darkness. I also thought were very strong in this film. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, once again, they have perfect screen chemistry. They really, I think they're the best Marcus and Mike has ever been on screen for this franchise, specifically in this installment. The humor is spot on. They're dramatic when they need to be. They're supportive to each other when they need to be. Everything you want from the Mike and Marcus character from this franchise happens in this movie. They're supportive of each other. They're humorous together. They're action packed. They know how to be the tough guys when they need to be. I just really love their screen chemistry here. It really works in the film's favor quite a bit. There's also fun uses of side characters. There's a character named Reggie that gets something really fun to do in this movie. There's also something towards the end that's also really fun with this character as well. The characters from Ammo, such as Vanessa Hudgens' character and Alexander Ludwig's characters, they also get some fun stuff to do here. The character of Rita from the third film, she gets a lot of fun stuff to do here. She also has a very important role. There's something going on with her that she has to kind of bring to light as well. That's also very fun with her character. They also explore the fact that her and Mike obviously had a relationship at one point, and so they play around with that a little bit more in this one, because I know in the third film they really bring that point home for sure. But the use of side characters I thought were really fun here. They're not just there to be there. They really do have fun things to do with them in the script this time around, so I thought that aspect of the story was also very strong. There's also an alligator park that's featured in the third act. It's like an abandoned amusement park. Really works in the film's favor. It really adds a whole new dimension to what this film does for its finale and its final action scenes. Really like the alligator park. It really brought something new and different to the Bad Boys franchise, similar to the whole fugitive angle. So once again, if you're looking for a sequel that has a fresh take on something, brings something new and fresh in here, this alligator park, along with the fugitive angle with the story, I also thought were very fresh for this franchise. But for my negatives of Bad Boys Ride or Die, when I reviewed Bad Boys for Life, I complimented how great the cinematography was in that movie. Unfortunately, this time they kind of downgrade the cinematography. They do more of a handheld approach this time around. Don't get me wrong, there's a couple shots here and there that are really good. But I just felt like, compared to the third film, the cinematography kind of was lackluster this time around. It didn't feel like they didn't quite know how to shoot certain scenes in certain moments. So I thought that aspect of the story, compared to the third film, wasn't quite as strong this time around. I really thought the cinematography of the third film was much, much better than what they did here in this new film. And though I thought the comedy was very funny this time around, and it absolutely works. I loved all the humor in this film and all the comedy that was explored. I also just thought it didn't quite hit as well as the third film did. I thought the third film had more fresh jokes to it. They left you more with an impression. You really kind of remember them and joke about them with your friends when the movie's over with. I don't know if this film has the same impact comedy-wise as the third film did in that regard. So I thought that aspect of the story also could have been better. I just thought that the comedy overall didn't hit as hard this time around. And similar to the third film too, I also thought the age of the characters really wasn't applied very well in the story this time around. I even thought, I would say the third film acknowledges it better than this film, because at least in the third film, Marcus is trying to retire, and there's things about Mike where he's trying to question if he should even be a bad boy anymore. This time around, it's just another adventure for the two of them. They really don't acknowledge if they're going to try to retire or if this is going to be their last mission or anything like that. So I thought the age of the characters could have been brought up here again, because they are older. This is a much later time in the franchise compared to when the first film happened. So I thought that aspect of the story could have acknowledged that aspect of their life a little bit more. Also, Mike and Marcus also get kind of more vulnerable weaknesses this time around too. Mike has issues with panic attacks. Marcus has issues with sugar and heart attack related problems. And so the film kind of explores that a bit. So I guess going back to age, I guess that's one thing they tried to explore with their age is is the fact that Marcus has this bad snack problem and is always looking for sugar, and Mike is having these issues with panic attacks, so it's hard for him to perform his job as well as he once did. It just felt like they added weaknesses to the characters just to make them more vulnerable, like they were in the third film. I get why they put it in there. For me personally, it just felt like they added something in just to give them another weakness compared to going up to the villains and stuff like that. So thought it was just kind of added in just to be there. Really wish the film would have gave us more of a reason as to why these weaknesses were brought up for these characters in this film. But overall, guys, I'm going to give Bad Boys Ride or Die a 9 out of 10. I think it's a terrific film. I think it's probably my favorite Bad Boys film right now. I really do hope they kind of make a fifth Bad Boys film at this point, just because I had so much fun with this film and the third film. I really think it's the franchise is kind of riding at the highest it's ever been. I hope these two directors even come back to do that fifth one, because they're doing such a great job with this franchise. And I just love seeing Martin Lawrence and Will Smith play these characters. So 9 out of 10 for me. Highly recommend Bad Boys Ride or Die. As of this moment, it's probably one of my favorite films of the year so far. Absolutely love this film. Definitely go see it if you're a Bad Boys fan, if you love the previous films. It's a 9 out of 10 for me. I highly recommend seeing this film.